The term evolution has always been widely used as it denotes a law of nature itself. It implies an improvement, an ascendancy, a continuous stairway to the top. We perceive this reality in everything around us, in plants, animals, humanity, and in ourselves. Everything grows and develops naturally. As we said, it is a natural law. Based on this, many people accommodate this law to their own convenience, hiding their own defects, and find a consolation in evolution, since they think it guarantees a permanent ascending to perfection. This misunderstanding leads to many mistakes, one of them being that it transforms evolution into a dogma, a concept far from reality. If there is a law that makes everything evolve, then there should also be a law that makes everything devolve, because it is the mathematical equation that matches the mechanics of nature itself, to rise and fall, to grow and degenerate, to live and to die. This reality is also in everything that surrounds us, in plants, animals, in humanity, and the planet itself. Great civilizations reach their peak and had to fall and collapse into decline. It is a natural law. Let us observe the history of humanity. By logic, we would have to be much better off than, for example, the Greeks, with their philosophy dating back more than 4,000 years. If they were at one level, we should be at a higher level of consciousness. At this point, it is important not to confuse technological advances with moral advances. Morally and ethically, there have been no advancements. To create laws and regulations does not make the individual of that society to be consciously better. For example, we can't steal, it is in the penal code. Many do not do it for fear of the penalty and not for the matter of conscience. We see how in many different instances people rob in hiding through corruption and deception, and we are talking of people who are considered to be good citizens. That is because at that instant the system fails, and with it the laws it enforces. That is, without laws, there are no ethics. When there are no rules to regulate a person, he or she exposes what is really inside. Many soldiers and children from families with no criminal record commit war crimes when they find themselves on battlefields, living under a fallen system because there is no punishment for any offense they commit. And so they rape, kidnap, kill, torture, and steal, despite being children of a civilized society. If before, in medieval times, atrocities were committed, it was because there was no laws that punished such actions. Today we have such laws, so such things aren't common. But this does not indicate an evolution, just a change of laws or regulations. It is important to point out that evolution and involution are mechanical laws that happen naturally, just as it happens with gravity, inertia, action and reaction, among others. The truth is that evolution does not take us to the much desired perfection. Evolution has a limit, and when it reaches this limit, it automatically shifts power to its sister law, that of involution, bringing decrease, degradation, degeneration, and death. In order not to allow involution to take hold of us, it is necessary to leave the mechanics of nature and walk another path, not one of evolution or involution, but rather that of revolution, the revolution of the consciousness. That is the path of those who seek inside themselves a force that could impulse them towards battling to eliminate their defects, to awaken their consciousness, and to sacrifice for humanity. This so-called direct path that breaks these mechanics and has been practiced by the cultures of many civilizations. It is the path of Quetzalcoatl, also called by the Tibetans as the path of the razor's edge, similarly taught by Fuji, Krishna, Mitra, Perseus, Jesus, and many others. We have to work on ourselves to free our consciousness, and thus escape the laws of evolution and involution. If we don't make a conscious effort towards the awakening through meditation, transmutation, and service, we cannot hope for evolution to wake us up. On the contrary, involution will eventually take hold of us, and we would see our own life fade away in front of us as we realize we've lost our best time in life, indulging in the pleasures and temptations of life.